What would it take for a political party to gain your support?
Somebody that's able to connect with people, what the actual needs are. Somebody that's able to connect with people, because what's happening over the years, we tend to follow what's happening, for obvious reasons, south of the border, and that's not necessarily working for us. We're going too far extreme right wing. We have to bring it back towards the center. That's what Canadians are about. We're great people, and be too far extreme one way or the other is not going to do this country any good.
I am very disappointed in our political parties of all stripes, especially when they don't work well together and they just nitpick at each other for stupid things. I think they should be working together much more.
Well, it'd be nice if someone told the truth for a starter.
I was just going to say honesty.
You know, transparency and all that. That's where they can twist that word around like crazy. Like I say, the Premier got elected on he was going to fix the doctors, and there's another, 35,000 people without doctors?
Having said that, they have thrown a lot of money at it. Yeah. I'd like to see the medical profession used as more of a professional basis for where this money goes. You know, speak to the experts. Don't just do sound bites.
You want my vote? Start taking care of the older people. It's time for the older people to get a raise. Most older people right now, I'm one of them. My wife just recently died. We own our own home, but now I'm finding it hard to stay in my home. Yes, I have a pension from my work, luckily, because my pension from Olin, or my pension from the government isn't enough to keep me alive. Most Canadians, if you walk around the streets right now, most of these people in tents, they have a pension. They have an income. They just can't afford to live in a house that costs $2,000 a month and then put clothes on their back and eat. Can't do it.
I guess somebody that's just taking care of business for the city, the country, everything, the needs of all the elderly and the children and, like you said, childcare, things like that.
I guess just to try to look at the gas tax and anything that can help people that really struggling, and there's a lot of people struggling these days.
Making more affordable living, affordable housing especially, because I feel like it's putting a lot of people in tough situations. So I don't know, just someone sticking to making affordable housing and like affordable rent prices,
They would definitely have to help out more with the childcare, with the housing situation.
I really think that for a party, just to get rid of all the politics. I want leaders, not politicians. And really what I'm looking forward is common sense, practical common sense. Let's move ourselves forward. We've got to worry about the economy. We've got to grow the economy. I think we've got to care about each other. So, I think we can be a little bit socially progressive. But we also have to, I think we've got to be economically sensible and move the country forward that way. I just want, get rid of the politicians. Let's have leaders. Let's forget parties.
To talk about real change as opposed to just talking points and sound bites.
To get back to basics, like healthcare is really alarming at a stage in life where retirees, when you might need those services more. I'm seeing more and more stories and coverage that it's just not there. And whether it's we've lost people through COVID that were in the healthcare profession, that it was just asking too much of them, or if it's cutbacks, I'm alarmed about our healthcare and our basics in terms of once getting back to caring for each other.
Yeah, commitment to, being really ethical and really transparent and just higher standards of public service, yeah.
I guess to really start speaking for the smaller people, I think that there's certain groups in this country that are very, very marginalized, and I think that, I guess you really need to convince me that you're going to actually help those people.
Real committed action on climate change. I think that for me is one of the most important issues, and it has been for so many years. And I haven't seen any of the governments so far really putting the necessary action into it. There's a lot of talk, I think, good talking, but when it comes down to it, there's a lot of feet dragging.
In my opinion, they'd have to put more effort in keeping the healthcare system. The hospitals are overrun right now, so I think that should be their main priority for me.
They'd have to somehow convince us to trust them. At this point, it's mostly words with no substance. So to see actual words go into something, but at this point, it's difficult to gain our trust, I would say.
Yeah, there was a lot of things that they said that haven't come true, and I think they just need to somehow regain our trust in what they want for this country.
They would have to have a solid plan for what to do with the homeless, and addiction and mental health. I'm in the field of addictions and mental health, so it's close to home for me. So,
again, we're talking infrastructure, we're talking education, we're talking entrepreneurship, we're talking about market development. We need to do all of those things, but we need to have a strategy that will allow us to compete not only with the other provinces in Atlantic Canada, but in Canada and the world. We need a world-class economic development strategy from the get-go.